He's not who he says he is. That was the final text message 23-year-old Elise Morrow ever sent. It arrived at 1:42 a.m. on a rainy Saturday morning. And then, she disappeared. No trace. No phone. No clues. Just gone. What followed was a twisted investigation full of digital breadcrumbs, eerie coincidences, and a haunting trail of suspicion that led nowhere, and yet, felt like it was pointing directly at someone. But who was he? This is the story of Elise Morrow, and the one text that still keeps her family up at night. Elise Morrow lived in Eastport, Maine, a coastal town where everyone knows everyone. She was the kind of person people remembered, bubbly, smart, always helping her neighbors, and known for her oversized glasses and contagious laugh. She had just graduated college with a degree in social work and had recently moved back in with her mother, Susan, while job hunting. Life was simple, until Elise met someone online. His name was Kyle. Or at least, that's what she thought. They met through a dating app. Kyle's profile was clean. Handsome, respectful, loved dogs, and claimed to work in cybersecurity. Ironic, in hindsight. They chatted for a few weeks, and he seemed to say all the right things. Elise told her best friend, Mariah, that Kyle was sweet, soft-spoken, and respectful of boundaries. But there was one thing that didn't sit right. Kyle didn't have any social media. Nothing on Facebook. Nothing on Instagram. Just that dating profile. Elise brushed it off. She figured he was just private. Maybe even a little mysterious. And that made her like him more. They arranged to meet in person. Their first date? A casual coffee at a cafe in Bangor. Over 2 hours away. Strange for a first meetup, right? But Elise didn't mind the drive. It was a Saturday, and she liked the idea of getting out of town. She never came back. That Saturday, Elise texted Mariah around 5:45 p.m. saying, "Just got to Bangor. He's picking me up. I'll text you when I'm done." Mariah replied with a heart emoji. At 8:11 p.m., Mariah got another message. "This place is kind of weird. He brought me to some cabin outside of town. No service. Well, if I die, you know who I was with." That message was followed by a laughing emoji. Mariah replied, "Girl, stop. Are you okay for real?" No reply. It wasn't until 1:42 a.m. that Mariah's phone lit up again. And this time it was different. "Help me. He's not who he says he is." Then nothing. No calls. No pings. No Elise. By Sunday morning, Elise's mom had filed a missing person report. Local police started tracking her phone, but the signal had last pinged near Baxter State Forest, more than 60 miles from Bangor. Search parties, helicopters, sent dogs. They found her car parked along a forest trail. Keys in the ignition. Phone missing. Inside the car, they found a half-empty bottle of iced tea and Elise's purse. Everything else? Gone. The police subpoenaed the dating app and tracked down the profile. But here's where things got weird. There was no Kyle. The profile had been created using a fake number and spoofed IP address. The pictures used were AI-generated, meaning the man Elise thought she was talking to never existed. And then came the biggest twist. The only number associated with the profile belonged to a burner phone purchased in Portland just a few weeks prior. CCTV footage from the store? Glitchy. But one frame clearly showed someone wearing a hood and gloves. Totally unidentifiable. Detectives tried to recover Elise's phone location history using Google services. Her GPS showed a strange route. After Bangor, she was driven east, deep into forest roads that no civilian should be using. Then, suddenly, her phone went offline around midnight. But something strange happened 3 days later. Her Google account was accessed from an IP address in Connecticut. An IP belonging to a public library. They checked security footage from that day, and saw a man using a library computer, wearing a baseball cap and face mask. He typed something, then left. The logs showed he accessed Elise's email for 43 seconds. No one knows what he was looking for. An independent cyber investigator named Jordan Ames contacted the family after reading about the case on Reddit. Jordan was a former hacker, now turned white hat. He began digging through forums, and claims he found Elise's name being discussed in a private dark web group focused on trafficking victims. He provided screenshots, some blurred, some encrypted. In one post, a user wrote, "She thought he was Kyle. Sloppy." The IP of the forum? Bounced through multiple servers. Untraceable. Was this real? Or some cruel internet hoax? Police couldn't confirm it. But Elise's mom believed it. "I know my daughter," she said in an interview. "She didn't run away. She was taken." Susan Morrow now sleeps with the hallway light on. She checks her daughter's old email inbox every morning. She hasn't changed Elise's room. Not one thing. Every year on Elise's birthday, she posts the same photo on Facebook. The two of them eating ice cream at the beach, Elise wearing those oversized sunglasses, mid-laugh. Under the photo, she writes, "Day 847. Still looking. Still waiting." The case has gone cold. But not for her. To this day, Elise Morrow has never been found. The last official update was in 2022, a status unchanged report from the local authorities. They've exhausted leads, spoken to dozens of people, even consulted behavioral profilers. But with no body, no confirmed suspect, and no solid evidence, the case remains one of the most disturbing mysteries in Maine's history. One text. That's all they have. "Help me, he's not who he says he is." Sometimes, the most terrifying monsters don't hide in the dark. They wear a friendly smile, say the right things, and wait patiently for trust to bloom. And then, they strike. If you have any information about Elise Morrow, her family continues to ask for help. A GoFundMe and tip line are still active. If you're someone who uses dating apps, be cautious. Vet people. Tell someone where you're going. Share your location. And if anything feels off, trust your gut. Because Elise did. And still, it wasn't enough. But what if the last message wasn't the end? Because just 3 months ago, a photo surfaced on an encrypted chat board. A blurry image. A woman with glasses. Bound to a chair. In the corner of the image, written in red marker on the wall, was the name Elise. The photo appeared on an anonymous chat board that trafficked in disturbing content, a place most people would never dare enter. It was grainy, distorted, as if taken from an old camera or low-resolution flip phone. But what caught everyone's eye wasn't the woman in the image. It was what was behind her. A bare wall, dirty, and scrawled in what looked like red marker, was one name. Elise. The photo was posted by a user called DeepLake121. The caption. Just one sentence. "She's still waiting." It was uploaded at 3:17 a.m. from an IP address that originated from outside of Albany, New York. But within minutes, the image was removed. Then the user account disappeared. Jordan Ames, the cyber investigator who had previously found Elise's name on a dark web trafficking forum, was notified by a Reddit thread that was monitoring the board. Jordan downloaded the image before it vanished, ran facial recognition comparisons using Elise's social media photos, and got a chilling match. 94% certainty. Jordan immediately forwarded the image to the Eastport Police Department. At first, law enforcement believed it was a hoax, but when they examined the metadata, something strange appeared. An embedded timestamp that read March 17, 2024, 22:46 and 9 seconds Universal Time Coordinated. That was just 2 days ago. This ignited a massive shift in the case. For the first time in over a year, it appeared Elise could still be alive. A task force was formed in cooperation with state police and the FBI. Jordan, unofficially, was brought on as a digital analyst. His job: track down the poster. The first lead came from the image metadata. The GPS coordinates were scrubbed, but Jordan found a small cache string buried in the file's EXIF data. It referenced a model number tied to an obscure Russian-made spy camera, a model no longer in production but used often in surveillance operations. What's more, the same camera was once registered to an online auction account that sold niche surveillance tools. The shipping address from the auction? A P.O. box in Albany. Investigators tracked the box and interviewed the postal worker in charge. He remembered one man, average build, never spoke, always wore a hood or cap, and paid only in cash. But most importantly, the worker remembered something odd. The man smelled strongly of bleach every time he came in. Around the same time, a missing persons tip came in from a rural town just outside Albany. A local woman, 31-year-old Caitlin Dorsey, had vanished under suspicious circumstances. Last seen getting into a gray Honda Civic with an out-of-state plate. The only witness, her neighbor, who told police the man driving looked blank. Like he was wearing a mask, but not the costume kind. Like his face had no emotion. That detail triggered something for Jordan. He went back into archived chat logs from the same dark web forum and found a cryptic message posted months ago by a user named Operator7. It said, "When they stop fighting, the eyes go blank. That's when you move them." The phrase chilled him. It wasn't just disturbing, it matched the neighbor's description. Meanwhile, Elise's mom was kept under close protection. Authorities feared whoever was behind the abduction could try to taunt her directly. But what they didn't expect was the letter. On March 20th, an envelope arrived at Susan's home. No stamp. Just placed inside her mailbox. No fingerprints. No return address. Inside was a single Polaroid. It showed a wooded area, covered in snow. And in the bottom right corner, the edge of a shoe. A pink Converse sneaker. The exact kind Elise used to wear. The message on the back. Tick-tock. Police canvassed the area. The snow had already begun melting, but cadaver dogs were brought in. They found nothing. No tracks. No disturbed soil. No physical evidence. Just that photo. Just that sneaker. Jordan expanded his digital search to forums outside the U.S. He contacted a former darknet moderator in Prague who provided something shocking. A zip file allegedly downloaded from a private trafficking channel. Inside. Video snippets. Blurry. Jittery. Faces obscured. But in one, the camera pans across a group of women seated in a room. One turns her head. It's only for a second. But Jordan paused the frame. Enlarged. Ran it through facial mapping AI. 89% certainty. Elise. Behind her on the wall is a symbol. A triangle with a small circle in the center. That same symbol was seen once before, spray-painted behind a crime scene in New Jersey, where another young woman, 22-year-old Mallory Hayes, had gone missing. Her case had gone cold. Her family never received a single lead. Until now. The triangle symbol seemed to be a marker. A calling card. Police believe it might be tied to an underground network of coordinated abductions. A theory once dismissed as conspiracy. Not anymore. Jordan's next move was risky. He created a fake profile, posing as a buyer, and infiltrated a private marketplace known as The Hollow. He spent days navigating hidden auction blocks, some real, some fake. Then he found a listing. Girl 238. Clean. Compliant. Eastern U.S. Blonde. Recent capture. There were no photos. Just a coded description. But Jordan cross-referenced the timestamp of that listing with the exact moment Elise's account had been accessed in Connecticut months prior. It matched. Down to the minute. Jordan tried to initiate a fake purchase, hoping to bait the seller. But then, silence. His account was banned. His laptop was pinged with a backdoor virus that wiped his entire hard drive in less than 10 seconds. He narrowly escaped with one file, a decrypted IP log that traced back to Detroit. Police began investigating storage units and private properties in the area. They found one, abandoned. Inside, a cot, chains, and a note pinned to the wall that read, "No heroes, no hope, no Elise." But what they found inside the desk drawer sent a chill through every investigator on the scene. A USB drive. On it, dozens of photos. Different women. Different rooms. All appeared terrified. In the final folder, marked Latest, was a 5-second audio clip. A girl whispering, "If anyone hears this, I'm Elise Morrow. He's still moving me. Please help." And then, static. Just hours after the drive was found, Susan Morrow received a phone call. The voice on the line was robotic, altered, but clear. "You shouldn't have kept looking. Now there's more than one. And then the call ended. No traceable number. No pattern. Just one sentence that opened a terrifying door. Because now, police believe Elise isn't the only one being held. And the man behind it, he might not be working alone. Detroit was cold that morning. Grit covered the sidewalks, and everything felt muted, as if the city was holding its breath. Inside the FBI's temporary command center, the air was thick with tension. Agents pored over maps, timestamps, and the hundreds of photographs retrieved from the USB drive. Elise's whisper, "He's still moving me," echoed in every corner of the room. But it wasn't just the whisper. It was what she said next, after the static had been filtered. Jordan played the cleaned-up audio over and over again. You had to listen closely, but it was there. He's not alone. The drive had been planted. That much was clear. Whoever left it wanted it to be found. But why? As bait. A warning. Or worse, a countdown. That night, Jordan received an encrypted message on his private email. No sender. Just a subject line. Do not speak. Inside was a single link and a password. Against every protocol, Jordan clicked it. A live stream opened. Grainy. Low-res. A room, bare, dimly lit by a single hanging bulb. In the center, a metal chair. Empty. But then, a door creaked open. A figure stepped into frame. A girl. Blonde. Shivering. Hands bound. Elise. The stream flickered, then cut to black. But just before it vanished, a logo briefly flashed on the screen, that same triangle with the circle. Only this time, it was scorched into the wall behind her. A brand. Jordan traced the streaming source to a relay server that bounced through 10 countries, but the final node pointed to Gary, Indiana. A town long neglected, dotted with abandoned buildings, perfect for hiding in plain sight. The FBI moved quickly. Within 48 hours, they had boots on the ground. They began searching every warehouse and boarded up home near the eastern rail lines, the kind of place no one goes unless they have to. One building stood out, an old meat packing plant, long since closed. It reeked of rot, even from the outside. Inside, they found signs of movement, footprints, fresh tire marks, and a chilling discovery. A makeshift cell made from a shipping container. But Elise wasn't there. Instead, they found a man. Mid-40s. Dirty. Malnourished. Barely able to speak. His name was Thomas Griggs, a former long-haul trucker reported missing 3 years ago. He'd been held captive. Used. Conditioned. He kept repeating one thing over and over. They said I was next. They said she screamed for days. Thomas described masked figures. Silent. Efficient. Always in pairs. One watched, the other moved. But there was one detail that changed everything. He said they wore military boots. That triggered an alert. A federal agent named Marcus Reed cross-referenced missing person cases with known military backgrounds. They found 6. All female. All had vanished in the last 5 years. All had some history of speaking out online about dark web trafficking or government surveillance programs. Elise had once shared a video back in 2020, a mini-documentary exposing a rumored covert military project involving behavior modification. She believed some women had been targeted. The video had less than 2,000 views before it was removed. Was Elise not just a victim, but a threat to someone powerful? Jordan uncovered a hidden file within the metadata of the USB drive. It contained coordinates to an island. Small. Off the coast of Maine. Privately owned. No public access. The name. Black Hollow Island. The name rang a bell. A decade ago, it was used as a training facility by a defense contractor called Virion Dynamics. A company that shut down suddenly after allegations of human experimentation. Claims that were buried and labeled as conspiracy. Jordan connected with a former Virion employee, a whistleblower who agreed to meet off-record. She told him something bone-chilling. They never shut down. They just changed names. And the island. It's not abandoned. It's where they break the ones they can't sell. Jordan passed everything to the FBI. A plan was set into motion, covert surveillance, followed by a possible extraction operation. But just hours before agents were to move in, Elise's mother received another envelope. Inside, a burner phone. No number. Just a single video file. She played it. It showed Elise, tied, eyes swollen, lips cracked, whispering. They're not just watching. They're listening. Even now. Behind her, a monitor displayed live CCTV footage of Susan's house. From the inside. Someone had been in her home. Watching. Listening. For how long? The video cut to black. Then a voice spoke, deep and distorted. If you take one more step toward that island, she dies. And so does every other one you don't know about. Authorities had no choice. The operation was halted. Jordan, furious and desperate, made a bold decision. He went rogue. Using the last of his contacts, he chartered a boat and headed to Black Hollow Island. He went silent after that. No updates. No location pings. Just one email sent to Susan's inbox at 3:17 a.m. I found the door. The next morning, Susan received a call from a blocked number. It was Elise's voice. Broken. Hollow. Whispering. He's not the worst one. He's only the key. The real monster is still free. And then the line went dead. What Jordan finds on Black Hollow Island will change everything. Forever. The sea was violent that night. Waves slammed against Jordan's small boat as he approached the jagged silhouette of Black Hollow Island. Rain pelted sideways, the sky growling above like it wanted to keep the secrets hidden. But Jordan was past caring. If Elise was there, this was his only shot. He docked quietly in a cove on the north side, according to satellite maps, the least guarded. Dense trees swallowed the path ahead, but Jordan moved fast, heart pounding. The air was thick with salt, pine, and something foul. 40 minutes in, he saw it. Floodlights in the distance. Faint voices. A compound. He slipped through the shadows, finding a vantage point. It was worse than he imagined. The island wasn't abandoned. It was alive. A sprawling complex of concrete buildings, surveillance towers, and underground access points. Men in black tactical gear roamed the perimeter, rifles slung low, boots crunching on gravel. Jordan waited until shift change before making his move. He bypassed two guards, entered a ventilation shaft, and dropped into the sublevel of what looked like a medical lab. The smell hit him first. Bleach. Blood. Decay. Rows of padded rooms. Cameras in each corner. And behind reinforced glass. Women. Dozens of them. Drugged. Isolated. Eyes empty. But Elise wasn't among them. He pressed deeper, through maintenance corridors until he found an elevator that required a biometric scan. He was stuck. Until luck, or something else, intervened. A technician exited a side room. Jordan ambushed him, knocked him out, and used his fingerprint to override the system. The elevator descended. To level Z. It was colder. The lights dimmer. This part of the facility was unfinished, like they built it in a rush and forgot to clean up. That's where he found it. A steel door, marked only with a symbol, the triangle within the circle. He entered. A single room. Empty, except for a chair, and on the floor, a phone. It vibrated once, then went still. Jordan picked it up. A message popped up. She's not here. But you are. And now we begin again. Alarms erupted. Red lights flashed. The door slammed shut behind him. Trapped. A voice boomed from hidden speakers. You broke the rules, Agent Walker. But you also proved yourself. We've been watching. We have plans for you. Jordan searched frantically. He wasn't going down without a fight. In the corner, hidden behind a metal panel, he found a crawl space. He crawled through, emerged in another room. And there she was. Elise. Barely conscious. But alive. He rushed to her, cradled her face. She stirred. Whispered. They knew you'd come. They made me watch you. Over and over. Jordan tried to lift her, but the lights dimmed again. A low hum vibrated the walls. From the ceiling, Gas hissed down. Jordan pulled off his coat, covered Elise's face, but it was too late. He collapsed beside her. When he woke up, he wasn't on the island. He was in a white room, strapped to a table. Monitors beeped. Cameras blinked. A woman in a lab coat entered. Calm, composed. She smiled. "Welcome to the next phase, Jordan. You and Elise are part of something much bigger now." He looked past her. Elise was in the next room. Awake. Standing. Smiling back. But not the same. Her eyes. They weren't hers. What happened to Elise inside those walls? And what has she become? The room was silent. Too silent. Jordan's breathing echoed like thunder in his ears. On the other side of the glass, Elise's body stood perfectly still. Her lips curled upward, but her eyes were cold. Void. Like she wasn't there anymore. Jordan tried to speak, but his mouth was too dry. The restraints dug into his wrists. The woman in the lab coat typed something on a tablet, then turned to him. "You want answers, don't you? Why Elise disappeared. Why she sent that text. Why she led you here." Jordan nodded slowly, afraid to hear what came next. The woman leaned in. "She didn't send the message. We did." A memory surged through Jordan, the last text Elise sent. "If anything happens to me, don't let them find the others." But who were the others? "She was chosen," the woman continued. "She showed signs of compatibility. The digital signature. The neurological frequency. She could receive the transmission." Jordan struggled. What transmission? The woman tapped a screen. It lit up with a swirling mass of distorted images. Maps, faces, ancient symbols. And then a phrase appeared. "They are listening." "This island," she said, "is not just a prison. It's a gateway." Jordan's heart pounded. To what? A long pause. To them. The lights flickered. Elise twitched. Her body arched backward, and then, like a puppet cut loose, she dropped to her knees. Screaming. Except, the sound wasn't hers. It was digital. Synthetic. Glitched. Then her voice layered over itself. 5 voices. 10. A chorus. He's here. He's ready. Jordan's restraints unlocked. Automatically. Slowly. The door opened. The woman stepped back, allowing him to walk through. He stumbled into the room with Elise. She looked up, face soaked in sweat. "They're not done with me, Jordan. They want you now. They need a vessel." He shook his head. "No. I'm getting you out of here." But the building began to hum. A low-frequency vibration surged through the floor. Screens in the wall showed dozens of others, people from around the world, strapped down, whispering the same chant. They are listening. They are choosing. They are becoming. Jordan pulled Elise up. She staggered, half-conscious. But as they neared the hallway, figures emerged. Not guards. Not doctors. Clones. Dozens of Elise. All identical. All watching. He froze. "Which one's real?" he whispered. Elise grabbed his hand. "I am. You have to trust me." The clones began chanting in unison. "You are chosen. The vessel. The signal bearer." Jordan ran, dragging Elise down the hallway. The complex was unraveling, sparks flying from control panels, sirens wailing. The voice of the woman in the lab coat echoed through the speakers. "You can't run from this. You're already connected. You've been connected since the first time you dreamed of her." Jordan stopped in his tracks. He had dreamed of Elise, months before he met her. Visions. Nightmares. She was never real. The realization hit like ice water. Elise wasn't a victim. She was the entry point. The bait. He turned to her. "Who are you?" She looked at him with a mix of sadness and something ancient. "I'm what they needed to reach you. But now they want more. They want the world." The hallway door burst open. Behind it, an enormous server room pulsed with alien light. The triangle within circle symbol glowed on the walls. You can destroy it, Elise said. But you'll have to sacrifice everything, even the memory of me. Jordan stepped forward, facing the humming core. His hands trembled. Do it, she whispered. Before they complete the broadcast. He reached for the manual override. And the screen blinked. Transmission complete. Suddenly, the servers went silent. The air shifted. Every monitor turned black. Then flashed a single word. Awaken. Jordan turned to Elise. She was gone. The clones were gone. The facility was gone. He stood alone, in a city street. Daylight. Traffic passing. Birds chirping. His phone buzzed. A text. From Elise. It's not over. Look behind you. Jordan turned, and his own face stared back at him. The story is to be continued. What did you think of the case? Please share your thoughts in the comment below. If you want more video like this, please be sure to like the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more true crime videos. See you in the next one.